I've taken the information that I learnt at my last lesson on how to draw 3D shapes, and I have applied that knowledge using my maths book and a ruler, and I've made use of the lines in my maths book to help me draw each shape the same size. So for example, when I drew this triangle, I went 2 squares across and I went all the way up 2 squares into the middle here, and I joined this line up to the same point. And then I just repeated that for this triangle here. And that allowed me to draw my lines up perfectly and have my triangular prism exactly how it should look. The next thing I did was I named the shape and I drew the cross section of the shape, which would have been a triangle. And I've shown you where I would cut that shape to get this as my cross section. And I've also named the shape. So first thing was to draw 3D shape, show cross section, so I showed the cross section cut. Third thing was I drew cross section, which is this bit here, and then I named the shape, the cross section, so that's that there, and I also named the 3D shape. And that makes my work look very organized. So I've got my 3D shape, I've got the cross section, and I've named the cross section, and I've named the 3D shape. You're going to do that yourself, but I'll show you one more example using a pyramid. So I drew the pyramid and I drew the cross section of the pyramid. I showed you where I cut it, and I was very clear that the cross section here would be a square that's smaller than the base. And I actually used my lines once again to draw a square that was smaller than this square here. This square was 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. So this one here was slightly smaller. I went 1.5 by 1.5 by 1.5 by 1.5. So even though my square doesn't line up with the lines perfectly in my maths book, I can still use the lines to help me draw a square. And make sure you also name the shape, your 3D shape here. I'm going to give you 3 different shapes that I want you to draw like this. First of all, draw the 3D shape and show me the cross section in your maths book using a ruler and setting it out very much like what I have done here. All right, I look forward to seeing your work, and ruler is key, as is using the squares in your maths book.